Today, we're going to be learning how to build a computer. This series is going to be divided into two videos, a parts breakdown and the actual building process. So, stay tuned. The PC that we're building today is an office build for my dad. Most of these parts were chosen merely because they were on sale. Your computer build may vary depending on your needs and the deals you find, but here are the parts that we got. Starting at the center of our build, we have the Intel i3-4360. Running at 3.7 GHz at stock, this dual-core hyper-threaded CPU is definitely overkill for our needs, but the extra features are nice to have. The integrated graphics allows for light gaming, and the socket type allows for a nice upgrade path in the future. For a better price to performance ratio, I would normally suggest the 4100 series over the 4300s, but we got this on sale, so we decided to go with the 4360. To hold our CPU and other components, we grabbed the Gigabyte H97M-HD3 motherboard. We weren't looking for anything too crazy, we just wanted the motherboard to have a compatible socket and be able to fit in our case. However, there are definitely other things you should consider when choosing your motherboard. For RAM, make sure that it's the same standard, usually DDR3, unless you're an enthusiast and want the latest of the latest. Then you're going for DDR4. Also decide whether you're going with dual channel or quad channel RAM, and what memory speed you're going for. Other things to check for include the number of USB ports, SATA connectors for your drives, the number of fan headers, and whether or not it supports USB 3.0 if your case does. You might also want to consider the aesthetics if you have a window on your case. It might sound overwhelming, but basically if your motherboard has the same socket as your CPU, and it fits in your case, you're on the right track. Comment down below if you have any questions on your specific needs. Moving on, we go to our storage. For our operating system, we are using a 120GB SanDisk SSD Plus. It may not be the fastest of SSDs, but it's definitely a step up if you're coming from a mechanical drive. When choosing an SSD, you can compare read and write speeds and other specs, but I typically try to get the most gigabytes for my dollar from a reliable brand and just call it a day. Since it's essentially just for the OS and a handful of frequently used programs, a 120 SSD will suffice for this build. But since 120GB isn't enough for all of the programs, we're also adding a 1TB WD black mechanical drives for additional storage. We could have gone with a WD Blue or a Seagate Barracuda, but with the sale price and the reliability of this drive, we couldn't say no. Check out our other video on our overview of the 1TB WD Black. For our memory, we went with a 2x4GB kit of DDR3 RAM from Patriot. Since our motherboard supports up to 1600 MHz, we went ahead and found a kit that matched that. Typically, the amount of RAM is more important than the speed. However, if you're building with an AMD APU, higher speed RAM greatly improves the graphic performance since it draws from the system memory itself. But for our use case scenario, this kit is perfect. Some people might overlook the importance of a good power supply, but a poorly made unit can fry your entire system. Powering our PC, we have the Fractal Design 450W Integra M power supply. With an 80+ bronze efficiency rating, this unit will provide clean power to all of our components. The Integra series power supplies are small form factor units, so they're perfect for smaller cases. And because they're semi-modular, the cables will be easier to manage. Our case is an ATX mid-tower, but we got the power supply for a good price. As long as it fits, it sits. Since my dad still likes having an optical drive in his system, we went ahead and grabbed him one. But this is totally optional. If you want one for your build, just make sure that your case has support for it. Speaking of cases, we're using the Fractal Design Define R4 ATX mid-tower. With its super clean aesthetic and silence optimized design, it was hard to find a reason not to grab this amazing case when we found it on sale. For more information, check out the video that we made on the Fractal Design Define R4. Grabbing Windows 10 as our OS, we finally have all the parts for our PC. Stay tuned for the second part of this series, where we actually teach you how to build your very own PC. Thank you for watching Cool Beans Tech. Comment down below with your PC specs. Check out our other videos, subscribe for more content, and we'll see you guys later.